about area today, and we're talking first of all about parallelograms, triangles, and circles. That's what we're going to talk about today. Tomorrow we're going to do some other shapes, and then Wednesday is even another shape. But when you talk about area, it's different than perimeter. We talked about perimeter in here, okay? And perimeter is what the length around the outside of an object. Like, let's say in your house you decided you wanted to put crown molding in your dining room. Well, crown molding goes at the top. So you would have to measure the length all the way around. That's perimeter, okay? But let's say in that same dining room, you wanted to put tile or wood flooring on the inside. That's area, okay? Because that covers the inside of the shape. And perimeter goes along the outside of the shape, okay? Perimeter is in like inches or feet. Area is in like inches squared, yards squared, okay? All right. So we want to talk first of all about the area of a parallelogram. And the area of a parallelogram is base times height. And your base and your height have to be perpendicular with each other. Okay? Now, your rectangle is also a parallelogram. Okay? And so the sides are actually your base and your height because they're perpendicular with each other. In a parallelogram, you've got your base, and then your height is the distance between the bases, so it falls on the inside. Sometimes they extend the base and then drop the height, okay? And so this would be the height, this is still the base, okay? But then they sometimes, instead of putting it on the inside, they put it on the outside, okay? You don't include this extension in your base, it's just the whole base of the parallelogram, and then this just tells you the distance between the bases. Your square is also a parallelogram, okay? And in a square, your base and your height are the same, all right? But it's still the area of any three of these shapes are base times height, okay? All right, so looking at this problem right here, what are my base and my height? 7 and 5, right? Okay, so when you do your problems, minimally, I want you to write down what you're going to type into your calculator. So you're going to multiply 7 times 5, and that gives you 35 units squared. Okay? If they don't give you a dimension, then just use U for units. Okay? So 7 times 5 equals 35. Okay? What are the base and the height of this one? 10 and 12. Okay? So my area is 10 times 12, which is 120 units squared. Now, this next one is a little bit tricky. Okay, what's my base? My base is, but base is not, that's the angle that's made with the base of the side. Okay, my base is 20, right? But I don't know what my height is. This is actually my height, right? Okay, because it's perpendicular to the base. But I'm going to have to use this little triangle that I have. What kind of triangle is this? Right? But what else? What does this tell me? It's a 30-60-90. So I'm going to have to go back and remember my 30-60-90 rules. And remember, everything's in terms of the short. It's always your x. Your hypotenuse is 2x, and your long is x radical 3. Okay? So looking at this one right here, what do I know? My hypotenuse, my short, or my long? I know my hypotenuse. Okay? And so my hypotenuse is 2 times the short. So I do 10 equals 2x. Okay? Divide both sides by 2. And that tells me that my short is 5. Where is your short? What's it across from? It's always across from the 30. So this right here is the short, which means the long is going to be what? 5. The short is x, 5, and the long is 5 radical 3. Okay? So we said that our base was 20. Now what's my height? 5 radical 3. So I'm going to plug that in. And I get 173.2. Okay, coordinate plane. So I'm going to have to find the number of units. Okay? You don't want the number of dots. You want the spaces in between. So how many units is the base? 1, 2, 3 units, right? And so then my height is my vertical, and how many units is that? This is also true, okay? So then to find the area, I would do 3 times 3, which is 9 units. All right. Now, what do I know on this one? Do I know the base or the height? Either one? You know the base. What's the base? The base is 15, but I don't know the height, right? But I have this little triangle again. What kind of triangle is this? It's a right triangle, but is this one 30, 60, 90? No, it's not 45, 45, 90. But I do know 2 sides of it. So what could I use to find that third side? The Pythagorean theorem. Does anybody know it just looking at it? 12. It's 12. It's a triple, isn't it? 5, 12, 13. But if you don't know it, you could do 5 squared times x squared equals 13 squared. And so you end up with x squared equals 144. Take the square root, and it is 12. Okay? All right. So now I know my base is 15. What's my height now? 12. So to find the area, I've got to multiply 15 times 12. And 15 times 12 is 180 inches squared. Now, my next one works backwards. This one gives me some information. They give me the area. They want me to find the base and the height. So I'm going to start out by drawing a picture of my parallelogram. Alright, it says the base of the parallelogram is 3 times its height. If the area of the parallelogram is 108 inches squared, find the base and the height. So remember, area is base times height. I know the area, so I'm going to replace the area with 108. Now I've got to figure out what I'm going to put in for the base and the height. It says the base of the parallelogram is 3 times its height. Do we know what the height is? No. So what are we going to let something we don't know be? X. So there's my height. It's X, right? All right. Then it says the base is 3 times the height. So how are you going to represent the base? 3 times the height. The height is X. So it would be 3X. Okay? So my base is 3X. My height is X. So I'm going to do 3X times X equals 108. I replace the base with 3x and the height with x. All right, what is 3x times x? X squared. Very good. We have 108 equals 3x squared. Because x times x is x. Okay. And then that's all I call it. 3 times 1 is 3. Now, I need to solve this for x squared. What should I do to get x squared by itself? Even if it was just an x, what would I do to get x by itself? Divide by 3. So to get 3x by itself, to get x squared by itself, I'm going to divide by 3 also. Okay? Okay, so 108 divided by 3 is 36. Okay? Now I still need to get x by itself. What do I have to do now? Take the square root. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other. And so x is 6. Okay, so what does that represent in my parallelogram? The height, right? Because it says the parallelogram, or the base, is 3 times the height. So my x is my height, and that is 6 inches. Okay, and so then what's the base going to be? The base is going to be 6 times 3, which is 18. So my height is 6 inches, and my base is 18 inches. Now, these are just in inches, not inches squared, because the area is in inches squared. They gave us that. We're kind of working backwards, finding what the base and the height are. Okay? All right. Any questions on that? Now, we want to talk about how to find the area of a triangle. Okay? If you take a parallelogram and you draw a diagonal, doesn't it cut it exactly in half? These are the same, and this is the same. So by side, the triangles are equal, right? So if the area of a parallelogram is base times height, what do you think the area of a triangle is going to be? Half of it, right? Base times height divided by 2. Okay, so you can do base times height divided by 2. Some people like doing half base times height. Okay, whichever you're more comfortable with. Okay. In a triangle, sometimes the height falls inside the triangle. They drop it from the vertex straight down, and it's inside the triangle. In a right triangle, the base and the height are the sides, or the legs. Okay? And then in an obtuse triangle, they have to extend that base and drop the height. Okay? This is still the base, the black part. The height is just dropped outside the triangle. Okay? Alright. So, looking at this next example here, what is the base and the height of this triangle? It's turned upside down. Remember, the height has to be perpendicular to the base. So what segment is perpendicular to the base? Huh? Okay, so this is my right angle, all right? So one of these is the base and one of them is the height. Which one's going to be the base? Now, 19 is an extension of the base. Remember, the base is the dark part. So this right here is the base. This is my base right here. And then they had to extend this, and then they had to drop the height to be perpendicular to that. So what's the height? No. The height has to be perpendicular to the base. So it's 30. Okay? It's just like this one up here, except it's turned upside down. See, this is the base, and then they had to extend that base so they could drop the height. So they just rotated and made it upside down. Okay? Alright, so my base is the 27, they extended it, and then they brought the height up to be perpendicular. So my base is 27, and my height is 30. Alright? So, to find that area, I take my base, which is 27, times my height, which is 30, and then what do I have to do? Divide by 2. Okay? So, in my calculator, I'm going to do 27 times 30 divided by 2 is the 405 inches squared. Okay, 405 inches squared. Now, I want to step away from this for just a second. There's some shortcuts that people don't always think about. Let's say I had a base of 6 and a height of 8 divided by 2. Okay? To solve it, I'm showing you a shortcut here. To solve this, I could do 6 times 8, which is 48, and divide by 2, right? And that gives me 24. But Dalton, could I divide 2 into one of the numbers? Can I take 2 into 6 and do 3 times 8? Could I do that? And then get 24. Or I could take 2 into the other number, which would be 6 times 4. That's going to give me 24. So when you've got two things that are multiplied and you're dividing, you can take the 2 into one, 2 into the other, or multiply them together and take 2 into the product. But you would not take 2 into both of those. Okay? You would take 2 into both of them, just one or the other, or what you get when you multiply them together. Okay? That's just kind of a little short. Okay, looking at number 8. What are the base and the height on this one? Huh? Well, the height has to be perpendicular to the base. 9 would be the base, and 7 would be the height, right? Again, it's going to rotate. So for the area, I would do 9 times 7 divided by 2. Now, I really would want to do the shortcut of this one, because both of those are odd. Right? So I'm just going to do 9 times 7 divided by 2, and that's going to give me an area of 38 21.5 centimeters squared. Okay, got a couple more here. What are the base and the height on this one? 5 and 12. This one's a right triangle, so it's the legs, right? Okay, so I would do 12 times 5 divided by 2. Could I take 2 into 12? 6 times 5, which gives me 30 centimeters squared. I didn't even need my calculator, did I? Okay. All right, here's one where you have to work backwards. I recommend drawing a picture for these. Okay. Let's drop my height down here. Okay, it says the height of the triangle is 4 times its base. The area is 50. Find the length of the base and the height. So with a triangle, it's base times height divided by 2. They give me the area. They tell me that the area is 50, but I don't know the base and the height. But what do they tell me? The height is 4 times its base. What's the base? You know, x. Okay? And so then that means the height is 4 times that. So how would you represent that? 4x. Okay? So I go and plug in my base is x. My height is 4x divided by 2. Alright, so what should I do here? How should I solve that? Can I get rid of the fraction? There's a couple of ways you could do it. 2 divided by 4. You can't simplify 2 and 50 because they're on opposite sides of the equation. You could divide 2 into 4. Okay? You could do that. That would be x times 2x. That would work. You could, well, let's solve this one first. I'll tell you what else you've done. What is x times 2x? 2x squared. Okay. Then what would you do? Divide by 2. And so that's 25 equals x squared. So what's x? X is square root of both sides, and x is 5. Okay? What does that represent? That represents the base. So my base is 5 units. And so then what would my height be? What? That's 4 times 5, which is 20. Okay, the other thing that you could have done at this point right here, you could have multiplied both sides by 2, and my 2's would have canceled here, and I would have gotten 100 equals 4x squared. You could have done that, okay? About the same amount of work, so either way, okay? All right. Last thing we want to talk about is area of a circle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Anybody have Miss Fry or Miss Ball? Yes, I know they taught that. I don't know about the other teachers. They taught a little song. Pi r squared, area of a circle, area of a circle, pi r squared. Okay, so that is the area of a circle, okay? But what did they give me in this problem? It's actually the diameter because it goes all the way across through the center, right? So if the diameter is 20, what's the radius going to be? The radius is going to be 10. And so then when I plug it into my problem, I'm going to do pi times 10 squared. What is 10 squared? 100. Okay? So the area is 100 pi. That's the exact answer, but it'll probably ask you for the answer to the nearest 100. And you get 314.2 feet squared. What do they give me in the next one? They give you the what? They give you the radius, right? So that's going to be pi times 7 squared. What's 7 squared? So I got 49 pi. 49 pi is 153.9. And that one's units squared. area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2, and area of a circle, pi r